The film begins in Russia, where a family of 3 is sitting by a river, enjoying their time together. The youngest of them, Seryoza Alyoshkov, boasts to his older brother and mother that he is at the top of a tree. Suddenly, German fighter planes fly overhead. The mother tells the children to hide quickly in the bushes, but the 6-year-old boy declares that he is not afraid and shoots at the plane with his slingshot. To everyone's surprise, he manages to hit the fighter and blow it up. But when he looks around, his family is no longer there. Seryoza wakes up, frightened by the dream, and calls for his mother. At that moment, someone knocks on the door. Assuming it is his mother, he runs to it, but a terrified neighbor bursts in instead. She thanks God that he is still alive and tells him that his mother and brother are dead. The little boy cannot understand what she is saying and wants to stay in the house to wait for his mother. The woman tells him that the Germans attacked them and that he must run. At that moment, soldiers approach the house. The woman forces Seryoza to escape through the window, but she is shot before she can join him. When Seryoza runs out of the house, he sees his entire village burning behind him. He calls out for his mother in vain and runs away. After running for a while, he finds himself in the middle of a forest. The 6-year-old boy is left alone, without family or friends. The little child begins calling for his mother to come and take him because he is lost. That night, he remains in the forest. The next morning, we see him drinking water from a river when enemy soldiers approach. Knowing they are dangerous, Seryoza quickly hides among the roots of a tree. He is frightened when a snake appears nearby, but he does not make a sound or run away. Seryoza is more afraid of the soldiers than of the snake. The soldiers eat by the river and then leave, after which Seryoza takes the leftover food and eats it. However, by the end of the day, the little boy is exhausted. He has not eaten proper food for 2 days and has been walking without direction. He collapses, limping, but does not stop moving. On the way, he finds wild berries and eats them. But then an explosion erupts behind him, startling him, and he becomes dizzy. He begins hallucinating that someone is walking behind him. Even under these conditions, he tries to be brave and tells the imagined person that he has a rifle and is not afraid. He limps forward but soon collapses unconscious. While he sleeps, 2 soldiers approach him. The scene shifts to the location of a Soviet army unit, where Commander Kuznetsov is waiting for his patrol soldiers. They arrive with the small child, who is injured and weak. When the soldiers tell him that they are on his side, the little boy opens up and introduces himself. The soldiers laugh when the child shakes the commander's hand and asks him to introduce himself as well. They feel affection for the little boy. The soldiers make him drink water and feed him. Even the stern commander takes care of the child. A nurse named Katia bandages Seryoza's wounds and is also charmed by his personality. The boy asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to become a soldier when he grows up. Even the injured soldiers talk to the child and feel lighter. Seryoza is fascinated by the commander's pistol and medals. The commander answers all of the boy's questions and lets him play with his pistol after unloading it. Seryoza shows him the tank drawn on his stomach and boasts that he himself had been a soldier. The boy recovers very quickly. Nurse Katia asks the commander to let the boy stay with the battalion, but he refuses, saying it is unsafe, and wants to send Seryoza to an orphanage. The soldiers spend all their free time with Seryoza. Many visit him during the day, bringing him food their families send from afar and even letting him play with binoculars. One day, a soldier goes to the commander and asks him to let the boy stay with the battalion. The soldiers have formed a close bond with the child and consider him one of their own. His presence eases the burden of war for them. However, the commander insists on sending the boy to an orphanage for his own safety. The next day, the enemy attacks, and many soldiers are injured. A vehicle arrives to take Seryoza to the orphanage. The commander tells the child the news and gives him a wooden honorary pistol. The boy hugs him in return, saying he is afraid for the commander's safety. The commander melts in his embrace and changes his decision. He asks Seryoza to stay with the soldiers as his own son. That night, the soldiers search for a uniform for the boy. They are very happy that Seryoza has stayed with them. The commander wakes Seryoza and gives him the clothes. He puts them on and runs around, looking like a real soldier. The others start calling him their little soldier. While the boy is running around, the Germans attack the battalion from the air. The soldiers quickly take Seryoza to safety and engage the enemy. The number of wounded soldiers increases rapidly. Seryoza wants to be useful, so he brings water to the soldiers suffering from thirst. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his eyes. The boy wants to help but cannot read. He takes the letter and begins making up what it says, claiming that the soldier's cow is safe at home. When the soldier says he has no cow, the others tell Seryoza to continue the story and laugh. He reads everyone's letters in the same way and lifts their spirits. In the next scene, we see Katia and the commander talking. They seem drawn to each other but do not confess their feelings. Later, Seryoza tells the commander that he holds the position of medic in the battalion and begins introducing himself that way. However, the boy then sees that one of the soldier stations has been destroyed in the attack. The commander teaches him to take off his cap to honor the fallen soldier. The next day, he insists that the commander give him an assignment, and the commander instructs him to distribute letters among the soldiers. He completes the task successfully and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The next day, Seryoza goes far from the camp with the binoculars. While playing with them, he sees a foot moving inside a haystack. He rushes back to the battalion and tells the soldiers what he found. The soldiers are skeptical but go with him anyway. When they approach the haystack, they realize that 2 German spies are hiding under it. The spies are arrested, and the boy is praised for his resourcefulness. That evening, the commander shows Seryoza the adoption papers. He is now officially the boy's father. Seryoza knows about the commander's feelings for Katia, so to repay him for his kindness, he brings him along to confess to her. But they both see her talking to another man and mistakenly believe she is in love with him. The camp is attacked by the Germans again. This time Seryoza helps the soldiers with all his might, supplying ammo to the fighters on the front line. But the soldiers order him to return to the dugout because it is too dangerous outside. When he gets there, he sees that the commander and others are panicking because contact with the colonel has been lost. A soldier is sent to repair the torn wires. Seryoza follows him and finds that the soldier is fatally wounded. He asks the dying soldier how to fix the wires and does it himself. Communication is restored, and reinforcements are called in. The 6-year-old boy saves everyone's lives. Later, we see the commander and Katia talking by the river. The commander finally confesses his love for her and asks her to become Seryoza's mother. Katia is thrilled, but before she can say anything, a soldier approaches and gives the commander a letter stating that they are being sent elsewhere. The next day, all the soldiers, together with Seryoza, set out, but on the way, they come across a minefield where several vehicles explode. The commander is injured, and the group's medic, with whom Seryoza was close, is killed in the explosion. Seryoza cries and hugs the commander. They carry the wounded on their backs and continue forward. When they finally reach their destination, they meet a commanding general. He is also impressed by the boy's ambition and congratulates the commander on having such a smart child. The next day, their division is awarded a guard's banner, and the boy is too. He promises to serve his country. One night, they are attacked brutally, and the commander becomes trapped under the ruins. Seryoza cries for his father and tries to save him. He calls other soldiers who eventually pull the commander out. The next day, Seryoza visits the wounded commander. His hands were injured while trying to save him. The boy is now an integral part of the team. He no longer has his former family and goes wherever they go during the war. The film ends when the regiment arrives at a new location. A voice in the background tells us that the boy even participated in the Battle of Stalingrad and marched with the soldiers all the way to Poland.